And now, weighing in out of the blue corner, Josh the Punk Thompson. 100%. And on the other mic, he weighs in from the red corner, Big John McCarthy.
All right, it is time for the Weighing In podcast. My man Josh Thompson sitting there ready to talk about the big fight coming up. You've got the rematch between Julianna Pena and Amanda Nunes. We got other things going on, and he needs to get his ass over to Texas. Don't ask me why, but we got a long drive coming up, so we got to make sure that you're sharp for the show. What's up, my man?
What's up, brother? What's up? How's things going? It's 5 a.m. here. Driving my ass all the way to Texas today. It's going to have some fun. I'm going to hit the Hoover Dam. I'm going to hit the Four Corners Monument. We're going to stop by the Grand Canyon. You know, I was thinking about swinging by Greg Jackson. Not to train. I ain't getting punched or anything like that. But I want to maybe swing through and see some faces and stuff. But we'll see if I got some time. I got to be there by Thursday afternoon. I got a meeting with some people there. So should be fun. I was thinking about rolling down to Austin at some point.
It's like the song, dude, Amarillo by morning.
Yeah. It ain't going to be by morning, I can tell you that. There's no damn way. But yeah, I was trying to fit in the Dave visit, but, I mean, he doesn't get back from Maui. Oh, my gosh, Maui.
Oh, poor Dave. Okay. He works so
rough
hard.
Life.
He goes to Maui.
So hard.
God bless him.
I'm sure he's having fun with the fam and stuff. That's good for him. He needs a little downtime every once in a while.
I can't believe you're getting so soft.
I am getting soft.
What is wrong with you, man?
I'm getting soft. When it comes to his ass. I mean, look, it really just comes down to, I like the guy sometimes. Don't tell him that when he's around.
Never tell him.
Mad at you guys. Never tell him that to his face. He'll let it go to his head. He'll start talking shit. Next thing you know, he's saying he's choking you out, and he's not. It's ridiculous.
He is training Alta, dude.
Yeah, he's lucky that I like his wife, man. He's got 2 beautiful kids, and his wife is amazing. So she keeps him in check, and that's why I keep him around. That's Big John. But overall, I'm pumped. I was supposed to go down this weekend and do Fight Campaign, but I'm driving to Texas. I'm going to be there for at least probably 2 weeks, maybe. I think I'll be back around the 8th of August. So I'm going to be there for a while. So you guys have to bear with me with some of the filming. I don't know the circumstances in the house there, so we're going to get it all sorted out. I have great internet. I know that. Yeah, buddy. So we'll get that all squared away when we get there, but it should be fun. Yeah, I talked to Brendan yesterday. He's like, hey, man, you're not going to be able to come down. I was like, man, I can't make it, dude. I got to be traveling down to Texas and stuff. So we're going to pass and go on to the next one, but make sure you guys still tune in. I mean, he's got a great little thing there that he's doing, and I love it, man. It's fun. He's always got good food, John. He's got a guy that barbecues like in this little side room. I'm like, is this even legal for you to be barbecuing indoors? It's so funny. And then here, quick, cool story. John, your friend that we met, super nice people, right? And he had a son named Casey. And Casey CJ, sorry. I thought it was Casey.
It's Casey, but it's CJ.
It is. Oh, CJ. Okay. So I was like, I saved his number in my phone call. His name was Casey.
It is Casey.
Casey. I was
it's
like,
Casey.
is he fucking lying to me? What is he doing?
He's not.
So then I sent the picture.
I'm sorry. I'm probably right now he's pissed off saying, John, what's up? He was CJ growing up the whole time for me, and now he goes by his real name, Casey. So you're right.
Yeah, you kind of hit that point. You know what's funny? In my whole career, I was Josh Thompson or the Punk, and I'm like, dude, I kind of outgrew the Punk name, and I'm like, actually, if I would have started this whole thing over, I would call myself Joshua. I would say, like, because now that I'm older, I'm like, I kind of like it. I would have probably named myself. Remember the bad guy from Lethal Weapon? His name was Mr. Joshua.
Oh yeah, Mr. Joshua.
I would have used my nickname as. Yes, it was.
Yes.
It was Gary Busey. I would have made my nickname Mr. Joshua.
And if you go back to that whole show, the stunt coordinator for the fight scenes, who was it?
I don't know, but he finished the whole movie.
Horion Gracie.
Oh, was it?
It was Horion Gracie, and that's why you see it's a really bad triangle choke. It's a triangle choke that puts him out at the end. That's awesome.
Well, it's kind of a triangle armbar, so it wasn't super bad. He kind of tucked the arm underneath. I thought it was
a little loose.
Yeah, it was. It was like locked to the ankles. It was locked to the ankles.
That's it.
But it was a good. That was a cool fight scene though when you think about it, right? The fire hydrant,
it was the
water.
first one that actually had a lot of grappling, and the reason it had grappling was your fight coordinator was a man named Horion Gracie before anyone knew who he was.
That's awesome.
Yep.
But then, so back to the story. We're talking with your friends who I had never met before. They were your old neighbors. Where was this at? In California?
Yeah, it was in California, a place called Rancho Santa Rosa, kind of in between Thousand Oaks, Moore Park, Camarillo area. There's this little horse community, and he was the one guy that decided he was going to have pigs there, and I helped him, and everyone hated us, so it was awesome.
It was great. So you
Still
guys
friends.
got along real great.
Oh, dude, we had a great time. I got great stories.
But then,
here, you want to know a story from this one? Here.
yes.
I'm going to give you, I got so many stories with this guy, but he used to raise pigs for all the kids to do 4-H. He would go and he would.
What's 4-H?
4-H is like a farming club. It teaches kids how to farm, and they have, they'll do different kinds of, events, and then they go to county fairs and you show your animals, be it cows, pigs, whatever it is that they're,
okay.
and you get awards. You can then sell them. They make money and stuff. It's the whole thing is really great. But Scott used to go and he would drive to Ohio from California to get the best show pigs he could. He would buy those show pigs. He would come back, breed them, and he would give those pigs to all the kids. All this, he didn't make a dime. He spent a ton of money doing this thing. And so, he was always traveling for his work, and he used to work for Toyota. In fact, Toyota at one time did the tap out truck, and it was Scott that did it, and I helped him do the whole thing. And he comes over to my house one day and he knocks on the door. He says, "Man, I need your help." Right? I said, "Yeah, what you need, bro?" And he goes, "I've let these pigs get too big. I got to castrate all the males." And he had like 35 males, right?
Jeez.
He says, and they're about 35 pounds. I should have been doing it back when they were 15, 20 at the most. He goes, "It's not going to be easy." And at the time I was big and strong. I said, "Dude, no problem." And so I would have to grab the pig, take it by its back hind legs, hold it straight out. He would take, a razor. He goes, zip, zip. He pops them. Testicles pop out. He would clamp them off. They would fall to the ground. He would put this powder on there and on to the next one. Oh, dude, no, it was great.
Did they numb it all for those guys?
What's that?
Did you numb it all for those fucking
no, they don't numb it.
pigs?
It's horrible. I mean, it's like one of those, it's like, this is the way you do it, right? So, my son, my oldest son at the time is probably 8, 9 years old, right? And we have done now probably 30 pigs. So there's 60 little Easter eggs on the ground. All these testicles are all there. My son comes bopping around. He goes, "Hey, what you guys doing?" Right? This is about the time I'm holding another pig out there. And Scott goes zip, zip, and he takes it and he pops and the balls come out and he goes, What are you? And all of a sudden he clamps them and the balls fall off. And my son, I'm sitting there holding this pig out. My son passes, whoop, boom, he goes down.
Shut up.
I swear to God. He's like, "Oh my God." And here's my son. I'm holding the pig. I can't let the pig go. My son's laying on the ground with a bunch of goddamn testicles all around him. I said, "Well, that figures."
So Ron's like just laying with balls all in his face. My God.
He wakes up right as I'm like, pick him up. I said, "What is wrong with you?" He goes, "I never saw anything like that." So, my early farming days.
Oh man, that's so funny. Yeah, the whole story started though. We were talking about Casey because of Fight Campaign. So Fight Campaign, and then we're talking about your friend's son, who was your neighbor for a long time. He sits down. He's like, "Hey, like you were on the Fight Campaign." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "My buddy Trevor Wallace was on there." And then so he starts talking about how they grew up together and they were friends together. I'm like, this is it's one of those things. It's a small world.
Yep.
I think about this stuff all the time when you meet somebody like that who you've never met before. Just so happen to be circumstances where we met after the show. We're sitting in the restaurant, and then he's friends with, your friends. He's the son of your
one
friend,
of those things.
And then now his friend is like this famous comedian that was on the show with us. It's such a small world. And then I tell this story all the time. When I think of small world situations, I'm in 2008, I'm in Paris. I'm at the top of the Eiffel Tower having dinner, and I hear, "Hey, Josh Thompson." And I look over, and guess who it is? Jeff Munson. Small fucking world. And I was like, "What's up, guy? What's going on?" And so you wouldn't think, right? You're going to run into somebody you know at that specific time on Earth and just all the way across all the way across the world, on the other side of the globe. Just so crazy, man. So crazy. Great experiences, great time. But, yeah. Anyways, to go back onto this Fight Campaign that's going on this weekend. But John, you have to tell this story because you told it to me, and it just so happens that the Choco Taco is now being discontinued.
Can you believe it? Dude, you sent me that. I cracked up, dude.
I was like, because your youngest son, this is a story about your youngest son, and it's so funny, guys. I was fucking cracking up the whole time. John, I was like, this guy, he has no fucking chill in his game, your son. He's just
He's horrible.
He reminds me of me. I swear I would have been that. Exactly. I would have been that dumb to do something like that.
Exactly. Man, when my kids were, very young, my youngest was, I want to say, almost 4 or 5, and when he was young, super aggressive, and he used to, he liked to fight, he liked to wrestle, anything that could be where he was, in contact and doing something, he was happy. But he was always attacking his brothers and sister. And I told him, hey, that's it. Stop. You are not allowed to hit your brother and sister. You hit your brother and sister, I'm going to blast you. If you want to hit someone, you come and hit me. So he would always come over and attack me and stuff. And it was great. Well, we go out and we're out, buying stuff, and they get hungry, and there's a Taco Bell. And so we go to the Taco Bell, and Taco Bell has this ice cream thing. It's kind of like a drumstick. At the time, it was called the Choco Taco, and it's a taco shaped, ice cream in the middle of it with chocolate kind of over the top, right? So I tell them, hey, if you guys eat, your meals, I'll get you a Choco Taco. They eat their meals, and so they're sitting there with the Choco Taco, and it's my wife and I are sitting there talking to them, and my son, my youngest one, keeps on hitting me, and I'm saying, hey, John, stop it. Knock it off. Not right now. Just eat your Choco Taco, right? So being him, he just goes right back to hit me. And so I look at him, I said, John, I'm telling you, stop. I'm telling you right now, you hit me again, I'm going to take a bite out of your Choco Taco. Because I know that, the Choco Taco is everything to him, right? And he goes, no. I said, then don't touch me, right? So he sits there, and he's got that look, right? And he's sitting right next to me. And he puts his hand up and he's ready. Finally goes, bip, and he hits me, right? And I go, are you kidding me, right? So I grab his Choco Taco, and I take a small bite, right? And I hand it back, and he's like, no, right? And he's like all upset. I said, I told you. Are you stupid? Did I not tell you what was going to happen if you hit me, and you just had to do it? You had to push it to see if it was going to happen. It happened. I'm telling you, don't touch me. If you touch me, I'm going to take another bite of your Choco Taco, right? So he's sitting there, and he's like, oh, he's all upset, right? And so he takes a bite of his little Choco Taco, right? And he looks at me, and he puts his hand up, right? And I go, you got to be kidding me. Are you this stupid, right? He just looks at me and goes, bip. He hits me, right? So I grab his Choco Taco, right? And now he's like, no, right? And my other kids are going, John, don't touch him, right? And he's almost like crying, right? I said, you're an idiot. I told you what was going to happen. You saw it happen before. I told you I would do it again. And now don't touch. I'm telling you right now, you so much as touch me, I'm going to eat the rest of your Choco Taco. Right? So he's sitting there, and he takes a couple bites, and he takes his finger, Josh, and on the other side, and he puts his finger right next to me. I mean, it's right next to me, like this. He gets it as close as he can, and I just look at him.
Can't fucking help himself.
Oh, dude, and I look at him and go, "You cannot be this stupid." He's looking at me, and I go, "John, don't do it. I'm telling you, I am going to eat the rest of that damn Choco Taco," right? And he just looks at me, and he goes, bip. And he does it. That's just like, you're the most stubborn shithead I know, man. I had to love what he was doing. And my wife is sitting there telling him, Johnny, do not touch him. Don't touch. You know what he's going to do. He had to do it.
Oh, I
ate the rest of that damn Choco Taco. Then I had to go buy him a new one.
Oh man, that was so great. You could just hear Gion's reaction was as good as mine the first time, and I'm hearing it the second time. It was so damn good. I just remember being that kid that would do something like that, either with my dad or my uncle or whatever. It was just so funny, man. Just you want to test the limits a little bit. You want to have fun with it, and it all starts off as a joke, and then
it becomes too serious.
It keeps going as a joke, but the results is not funny.
So, in the end, you're going, "What? I shouldn't have done it, but I had to. I had to."
Oh man, I was dying, man. I'm in the restaurant. I can't stop laughing. John's telling this story, and I'm like, come on, I got tears coming out of my eyes. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. All right, well, hey, let's. We've got enough story time.
Yeah, enough story time. Story time is over.
Let's get right into this. Let's get into the UFC event 277 coming up this Saturday. And let's start down. You know what? Let's start down right now. Yeah, let's go. Let's start from the bottom a little bit.
I told him, I said, we're not going to go at the very bottom of that thing.
Okay, so let's see.
Keep on going up. If you're not going to go and talk about some of these.
Yeah, I mean, we're not. Look, here's the thing: is I'm not going to talk about the first 3 or 4 fights on here.
You actually have the light heavyweight fight with Nikolai, and I always Nicomaranu. He's good, and
is he?
Yeah,
he's 10-1 or 12-1. Sorry,
he's good. Bad. That's actually that's a good fight. It's one that people should pay attention to. But the real one that you got to say start watching the fights. Drakkar Klose against Rafa Garcia. That's a good matchup. Yep. That's a good fight. Both those guys are bangers. Both those guys go after it. That should be really an entertaining fight.
I agree with you. Klose is he's awesome, and then he's got a great output. He's got some power.
He's got power.
Garcia is just a dog, man. Rafa, how you want to pronounce it, is a dog, man. So watching the two of them just stand in front of each other, throw levers,
that's what it's going to be.
The bigger shot.
Yeah.
I think you might see a couple little threats of a takedown, maybe by Garcia, just for a split second, but not anything where he's got to force.
He can wrestle, so
yeah, he can. Yep.
And it would not be a bad move, and it would actually kind of freeze, close up a little bit to where he's not, just setting his feet and slinging leather. So we'll see what he had, but both of them they're fun to watch. So that's a great matchup that no one will be talking about. We're gonna see how good it is, and then we'll talk about it later. But that's a great lightweight matchup.
John, what's funny is because I still do read the comments. As long as they keep it kind of somewhat positive, which a lot of them do, and I appreciate that. When you guys start getting too negative, man, I just shut it off. It's just like Jesus. But look, guys. We got a little bit of flack because we talk a lot about Bellator because we commentate the fights and we work for Bellator. But then people are like, yeah, but you guys don't break down every single fight, on the UFC. I'm like, we kind of do. I said, here's the other thing. I go, when we're talking about all these things is sometimes when the fight doesn't deserve to be talked about, we're not going to talk about it. There was some fights like we should have, and I want to admit this, is that the week before the last week's show for the UFC, we skipped over the Paul Craig fight. We didn't talk about it in the pre-fight, and then we talked about it obviously afterwards, but we missed it on the pre-fight one. And that was honestly, if I would have, I don't know if I was tired or what we were, but we just missed that fight. We didn't talk about it. We should have given it some more due. I like Paul Craig a lot, and it was a good fight between the two of them, and we should have given them some love. But and I love Paul Craig, and obviously because I'm surprised Dave didn't bring it up either. Hello, it's your boy, it's your native son. Gosh, man, you should have been able to say something. I gave birth to Chael, so it's might as well be his native son, right? Paul Craig. I don't know. I guess I'm a bad comedian. But overall, look, we're gonna do the best we can to keep doing what we do. But like I've said from the very beginning of us doing this podcast, we talk about all the fights that we feel at the time deserve the notoriety and the recognition, and we're gonna do the best we can. And so there's a lot of young talent that is coming up in the UFC. There's a lot of young talent in Bellator that is coming up. Like I've said before, I really feel that the young talent in Bellator is better than the talent that we had in Strikeforce. And look how good the talent was out of that organization. And I kind of agree with a lot of people that we need to start kind of pushing out those ones that are getting older. And it's nothing against the guys that are in there that are getting older. And I feel like somewhat of the UFC, it's kind of a changing of the guard. Coker's had this organization a long time. UFC, Dana White, and those guys have had their organization a long time. But you're seeing a little bit of the changing of the guard in both organizations. John Jones is getting a little bit older. I don't know how many more fights he's got. I'm not saying he's done. I'm saying that he's just getting a little bit older. Stipe, kind of on his way out. You got other top fighters that are kind of on their way out in that organization as well. So it's kind of the changing of the guard. New talent's coming up. The 55s used to be run by, RDA and Cowboy and Anthony Pettis and Benson. All of those guys are pretty much gone. So, Pettis is still fighting, but in the PFL, everyone's kind of pushing their way out. And I got the young breed that's coming up, and they're fucking just killers, just straight killers. Anyways, I ranted on enough about that, you guys, but I want to let you guys know we're doing the best we can. Hopefully you guys keep enjoying the show and keep watching us and keep sharing our content and our video. But make sure you guys please hit the subscribe button. Don't just come in every week and tune in and watch. Okay, hit that subscribe button, get our notifications, and keep listening. All right, so the bottom line is you like that fight with Drakkar Klose and Rafa Garcia. Yep. And what other fights on here do you like?
I think the Drew Dober versus Rafael Alves is going to be a very good fight.
Mm-hmm.
Dontel Mays in the heavyweight battle. I have not seen Hamday fight, so I can't say, but I know what Dontel does. That should be fun. But I think the Drew Dober versus Alves fight is going to be a very good matchup. Alves is a guy that
go ahead.
He'll go and he's got losses, no doubt about it, but he will fight his ass off against anyone, and sometimes will not fight, as we would say, with a good fight IQ, because he just gets into the battle and just starts slinging with people. And if there's someone to sling with, Drew Dober, same thing in return. He's had those matches.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a very entertaining fight.
Yeah, I agree with you on the Drew Dober situation. There's fights that he probably shouldn't have taken. I look at the fight with Islam, and he probably shouldn't have taken that fight. A lot of people have turned that fight down. And when people talk about Islam Makhachev, as they say, because...
But I love the fact that he takes it.
Yeah, I do love the fact that Drew Dober took it, but I said, you career-wise probably wasn't the best decision, No. But overall, you got to respect fighters to do that, and the UFC is probably respecting him, the fact that he's doing that. That's why they keep him around. He's he's a very talented fighter. He's got decent wrestling, sprawling brawls. He's got heavy hands. He likes to gunsling. They're looking for guys that are killers like that, and he's a killer, and you love that. Yeah. So I think this is going to shape up to be a good fight. Should be fun to watch. And I look at some of the other, you've got Pantoja versus Alec Perez. That's going to be a good fight. Magomed Ankalaev versus Anthony Smith. Alex Morano versus, I don't know who Matthew.
I love
Semmelsberger. I've never heard of him. Never heard.
Dude, I love him.
I'm sure I've watched him fight, John, but I don't know.
You've watched him fight. He's tough as hell. He's a goer, and it's just like Morano. And I think, again, I don't want to say it this is not in a bad way. This fight doesn't truly mean anything as far as rankings or anything like that. It's not going to change anything. But this is one of those fights that you look at and you go, this is going to be a good fight. Both these guys, Alex Morano has skill on the feet. He's got skill on the ground. He's tough as hell. And Semmelsberger is the same thing. Very tough dude, will come after you, put a lot of pressure. So I think this is going to be a great matchup. Yes, it doesn't mean anything in rankings or anything like that. Who the fuck cares? This should be a barn burner of a fight. So
that should open up your pay-per-view, correct?
Is that going to?
I think Anthony Smith and Ankalaev probably.
Yeah, I think Ankalaev is Smith.
1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, what's up that above? Brandon Moreno and Kai Car-France is the interim.
That's going to be the main event. Julianna Pena.
Yeah, or Pena Vasquez.
Julianna Velasquez, huh?
Yeah. So okay. So
I've done that.
They might be the opening round. Which sometimes they have 6.
Normally it's 5.
Yeah, normally it is 5. All
right. Well, it's normally
5. Can you click on Matthew Semmelsberger or whatever? Can you click on his picture so I can see what he looks like? Because I'm sure I've watched him fight. I'm a little upset. No, send me the jet.
The Jedi.
I can't tell from that picture because it's kind of dark, but I'm sure it should be a good fight. Go ahead and Williams, AJ Fletcher. I'm sure I've seen him fight. I'm mad that you're saying he's a good fighter. And
you have.
Okay. All right. Scroll back to the main card. All right. Good job. Man, you're on top of this today, man. Gian, look at see, we replaced Podcast Dave and someone that really pays attention. Very nice. So let's
Anthony Smith versus Ankalaev. That's a fight that is a good matchup. The real question for me in this is, look, Ankalaev is very good in the stand-up, very clean, very technical. Anthony Smith really started out kind of in MMA as more of a striker, and then his ground game really started to get better wrestling. I think Anthony Smith in this fight needs to be the complete mixed martial artist to win, though. I think he does have to at least make Ankalaev look like, understand that I will take you down. I will force you to the fence. I will work towards making you be on your back. And if Anthony Smith can put him there, he's got a great chance of winning this. I love Anthony. I love the way that he fights. I love his attitude towards fighting is great. So
I think when you listen to him on the commentary, when you listen to him talk either at the desk or the post-fight stuff, he is very well spoken. He does a great job of giving these guys their props. He's a very likable personality. Very likable. He's not anything like me. Okay, so he's like some other people, but but on top of that though, the guy can fight. And everyone keeps looking at his record going, oh, he did this, yeah, but he's fought everybody. He's been fighting for a long time. People forgot he came from Strikeforce. He's been around a long, long time. And he fought killers. He fought killers in Strikeforce, and now he's fought killers in the UFC. He's been in that top 10 for the longest time as well, fighting all the best guys. He's extremely talented. His only downfall, I would say, is that sometimes he throws so much heat on the feet in the beginning of the fight, like he did with Glover Teixeira, and he sometimes will start to slow down as the fight goes on. If he can get if he can find out a solution to that, because Ankalaev is going to press on him, going to push him a little bit, maybe try to wrestle him a little bit, try to get to the top position. Anthony off of his back isn't as good as Anthony on top, and we found that when he fought Glover. Now, you can't really compare Ankalaev to the Glover Teixeira situation, because Glover on top is a fucking beast. Everyone knows that. Got heavy hips, great submission attacks, good ground and pound, all of those things. So when I look at this fight, I think it's a match. It's a matchup where you've really got to pay attention to the small details. Does Anthony Smith pick him apart with the long-range jab, that long-range push kick up the middle that he did so well to Glover and other fighters? He's really talented on the feet. He mixes up the combinations well. He can throw the head kick really fast. He hides his head kick behind his combinations. That's the type of shit you're going to need. I think he's going to control this fight, probably for the first round. Now it's going to be up to Ankalaev to figure out the solution by the end of the first round or going into the second round. Because if he doesn't, it could be a long night for him, especially in a 3-round fight where I feel like Anthony can win 2 rounds and just survive the third if he needed to, if the conditioning is not on point. So I'm gonna lean towards Anthony Smith on this fight. I have no disrespect to Ankalaev, but I really and I think he's that guy that they potentially could be in the future a champion. But I'm looking at Anthony Smith to have a little bit of the solution. He's got power. If he's utilizing those kicks a lot with the new calf kick coming around, Ankalaev kind of doesn't just stand in one spot. He's got a little bit of movement on the feet, throws some great combinations. If he can take that calf kick and slow Ankalaev down a little bit in terms of the wrestling, because you kick that calf. We found out with Rosa last weekend, it's hard to wrestle. It's hard to get it on the legs. There's no explosiveness if you start getting to that calf early. And Anthony's got hard kicks. So if you mix up those kicks and throw those combinations, I can lean towards Anthony on this whole situation.
It's a great start to the whole thing.
It's a tough task, John. I know what I'm saying. I get what I'm saying.
It is.
People are at home going, I don't know.
Everything is, you never know until the fight goes up.
Yeah.
Which direction the fighter is going to be going. But Ankalaev has shown exactly what he likes to do. He actually is more boxing centric as far as he likes to utilize his hands. He will use kicks. He definitely will use knees in the clinch and stuff. But he's a more boxing centric. Likes to stand like a boxer. Likes to use his hands, and that's why I say Anthony Smith, in my opinion, to get a win here, just needs to be the complete mixed martial artist. He cannot sit there and get into a boxing match with Ankalaev. That's in the end, that's not going to work out well for him. But as the complete fighter, he's got a good chance of winning that fight.
That's why I think those kicks up the middle will keep Ankalaev away.
Absolutely.
I think the longer, rangier fighter will probably be Anthony Smith. Yeah, and if he can use
Anthony's
those
6'4". What's Ankalaev is right at about 6'2", 6'3", so he's tall too. But Anthony, I think, is longer.
Yeah, so I mean, I look for him to use, like I said, because as Ankalaev comes in on the boxing, the legs will be a little bit longer. Use that push kick up the middle, maybe even up to the face. That really keep him at bay for a bit. But the thing is, the more kicks you throw, the more tired you get, the faster you get tired. So there's a lot that, like you said, a full mixed martial artist. Him on top will be nasty. It'd be good. It'd be Good friend, but getting Uncle Ab down. How much energy do you want to waste trying to get that takedown? There's a lot of questions to be answered in this one, John. So
Yes,
good
there
stuff,
is.
though. It should be a great fight, especially for an opening fight. Let's see what else.
Pantoja against Perez. That's a good fight. You're talking flyweights here as far as Pantoja's good everywhere. He comes from a BJJ background, but has fallen in love with the stand-up. And his stand-up is clean. It's good. This is a guy that, this guy wins against guys like Brandon Moreno and stuff. It's the question of, does he fight, again, as a complete mixed martial artist? Because he has a distinct advantage in this fight over Perez, where Perez, you look and you say, does he have a distinct advantage? No, Pantoja's good on his feet, but Perez is really good on his feet. And I think Perez is better in the stand-up area as far as power, everything, than Pantoja. But his ground game is definitely not what Pantoja's is. And so if you look and you go, look, if Pantoja is smart, he's going to work towards the takedown. Obviously, you can stay with him for a while on the feet, but work towards pressing him to the fence. Try to work on getting the takedown. That's an area where I think you have an advantage over Alex Perez. You don't want to get into a gunslinging fight with Alex Perez on the feet. It's not smart. But we'll see how smart Pantoja is in this, because he tends to get into those. He likes to stay on his feet. He likes that, feeling of trying to get the knockout. And that might be to his demise, because Alex Perez can definitely put his lights out.
Yeah. I mean, like you're thinking in turn. Yeah. I mean, for me, when I start looking at a lot of fights, sometimes the fighters, depending on where you're fighting, depending on what history you have with the promotion, they feel the need to deliver entertaining fights. And I criticized our main event, the Bellator main event last weekend, and I criticized some of the young talent that we had on the Bellator show that and just make sure that I make it equal across the board. There was some boring fights in the UFC card as well. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great fights on every card. But you got the fighters need to sometimes remember that getting the win is the most important thing, which is what we saw last week with Jason Jackson, sorry. And having Jeremy. I'm struggling with names today. With Jason Jackson. He got the win against someone who is extremely tough and can put your lights out in no time. Douglas Lima is one of those guys. In this situation, I agree with you. Perez is the better stand-up guy. Perez is got the cleaner stand-up in the striking. And if he touches you on the chin, it could be lights out. But Pantoja, like you said, he's got good lateral movement. He can strike off of the movement, but he's got to find a way to get this fight to the ground. Does he have the wrestling, though, to get this fight to the ground? He's got the grappling when he hits the ground. Okay, but does he have the wrestling to get this fight to the ground? And does he have the speed to get himself in deep enough to get to body locks or get in double legs or single legs? What's his pedigree of wrestling? I've yet to see if it's going to be good enough to get this fight to the ground against Perez. Perez has been used to people trying to take him down because he's got good striking. So his takedown defense is on point. But Pantoja, even though he's gotten away from knowing that he's a good grappler, he's gotten better in the stand-up. Will his wrestling be good enough to get this fight to the ground? I guess we're going to find out on Saturday.
That's it.
What else has you got there? Pavlovich versus Derek Lewis. I like watching Derek Lewis fight. Doesn't matter who he fights. I don't care who he fights.
Not a good matchup for him, though.
Give me why.
Pavlovich has got a huge reach. He's good on his feet. Derek does not. Derek is the bull rusher, and we know he's got power, and I love Derek. And on the ground, and he's in the top position, people do not survive. He's awesome there. He's just going to this is a hard matchup, in my opinion, for Derek Lewis. I think the UFC knows what they're doing here. Mm-hmm. They know what they have with Derek, and I just look at it and say, knowing exactly how both of these guys fight, Pavlovich is just a monster, dude. The guy's got a huge reach. He's got power in his hands. He's good in the stand-up. He's a lot more technically solid there. But, we've seen Derek Lewis can put the power on anyone and put their lights out. And I love watching him fight. But I just look and I go, this is not a good matchup, in my opinion, for him.
Is he on a losing skid of the last three? Can you click on Derek Lewis?
I don't think the last three, no, because he beat he knocked out
there?
Dawkins.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Dawkins. Oh, so no, not 3. What was I thinking? 3-4. We beat Chris.
Well, it would have
Blaze,
been
lost
if
to
he
Cyril.
had lost to Dog. He lost to Gon, lost to Tuivasa. And the Tuivasa fight was a good fight. I mean, it was back and forth. And you would have expected that. And I think this one kind of will be for just a little bit, but the Tuivasa is not that super long fighter. He's super tough. He'll take shots. I just look at Pavlovich, very long. He's tough. He'll take shots. Just the style that he possesses and the way he brings things is going to be tough for Derek.
Tuivasa, though, can fight you in a phone booth. He's got pretty tight boxing. He keeps you in tight.
And I think that Derek needs to get into that phone booth area to do well against Sergey. I think that's where, if he's staying outside at range, he's going to have problems. And we see Derek many times. He does that. He'll stay out at range, and then he'll make this, big jump or leap or movement and come in with big shots all of a sudden. He's got to be careful when he does that. Being pressed up against Sergey would be a much better style for him to get a win and, get to the top position. If Derek Lewis can get the fight to the ground and be in the top position, like I said, nobody survives with him once he starts laying leather and he's in the top.
You know what scares me about, well, not scares me, when I look at Derek Lewis, though, he doesn't know how to really fight in a phone booth, John. A lot of his punches are a little wild. They're a little loopy. He possesses power. We all know that. Yeah. But like with Tuivasa, he beat Derek Lewis, started off with an elbow, I believe it was. Yeah. Dropped him with the elbow or whatever, and then finished it off or something, as I recall it correctly. In that situation, though, that was all in a phone booth. Derek Lewis needs to make a little bit of space to be able to land the big shots because he kind of loads up and he's got loopy punches. So that might be a hard situation. This might be a hard situation for him to fight. So, but like you said, when you possess that kind of power,
yeah, you can change it
you
any
can finish
moment.
the fight at any moment.
And it's like he's fought guys that are long, tall. The Volkov fight, he lost every second of that damn fight until the end, and that's the kind of power he possesses.
There was less than 10 seconds left in that fight, correct?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
crazy.
I think like he
pull that Derek Lewis thing back up there, Gian. Let's see what he had. If you go to the
Volkov, scroll down to Volkov.
Yeah. Keep going.
Keep going. Oh wow, it was a while ago.
Oh, God.
There it is. Yeah, 11 seconds.
4:49. Yep, not 10 seconds. Well, a whole lot more time than 10 seconds, Josh.
Well, he beat. I forgot he beat Francis Ngannou in one of the worst fights ever.
Oh,
correct?
It's horrible.
Yeah, that's so fun. I bet the UFC is just eager to put that fight back.
Yeah, that's why that fight never went back. It was not
man.
good. Both guys looking at each other.
All right, now let's get to the co-main event. Correct.
Kai Kara France against Brandon Moreno. How do you see this?
I see a very action-packed fight with great technique. Both are going to have extremely great cardio. They are going to both push the pace. I think if Brandon Moreno can get this fight to the ground, he'll have a very good chance of winning this fight. I think he's got, I agree. Remember how you went through, what fight was it that you were talking about? Pantoja. I got to look at it very similar to that fight. You've got to make sure that you're utilizing your full MMA skills, remembering that you have the distinct advantage on the ground, not on the feet. You can stand for a while, but it's got to be all to set up your takedowns. Go back to when he fought Figgy. I think it was in the second fight where he was able to get to the back and get the choke. He's got to be thinking in those type of terms. Make Kai Kara France respect the takedowns. Make him believe that he can get the takedowns and dominate the top position, and then he'll be more hesitant to let his stuff go on the feet. Kai Kara France is a dog on the feet. He's got tight technique. He's got punching power. Cody Garbrandt found out. A lot of people have found out. He's got some power. So, and he puts it together, and he's real slick about it as well. This is going to be it's going to be a really good fight. I'm excited really for this fight. And I love watching Brandon Moreno fight. It's going to be a good fight.
Oh, Brandon Moreno's he's a gamer, man. He'll fight anywhere. He's tough as hell. The real thing here is he does have a good chin. And I do think that Kai Kara France is going to touch that chin. The question is, can he put the shot that hurts him where he can finish him? I don't know. It's Kai Kara France right now is fighting as good as he's ever fought. And very slick on the feet. Good, elusive head movement. He's not easy to touch when he's on his feet. And once he gets into a roll and he starts to feel good about the fight, that's when it becomes very difficult. Brandon Moreno needs to do exactly what you're saying. He needs to make it a dogfight from the beginning and not allow France to get into that flow where he feels like he's moving well and everything is just going his way and he's starting to touch, because that's what he does, and then he'll bring power. So either guy can win this fight. It's a great matchup. I love the fact that it's for an interim title and stuff. I know Figgy doesn't like that, but I do like it because you can't just sit there and kind of play the I'm injured kind of thing. Things got to move on, and I think Kai Kara France deserved a shot at a title. He's proved it with his fights, and Brandon Moreno's the same thing. He draw in the first fight with Figgy. He beats him in the second. The third, I didn't think he fought real smart, and he loses it, but he deserved a fourth. He definitely deserved a fourth, and so you can't fight? Okay, let these two guys go at it. Love it.
The UFC has dealt with fighters long enough to understand that when they're trying to hold out, they get the vibe, they get the feeling of all these things, and they understand that. And so the fact that they understand that, that's why they're putting the interim title in. They've gotten out of control with just insert interim title. They have, but you also, behind the scenes, you also understand that they've dealt with this before. They understand what they're doing. They want to keep the ball rolling. I'm sure if there was more of a civil conversation back and forth, like, hey, let me get healed up and, I'll share my doctor results, something like that. I don't think it's that. Everything we hear is that he's very unhappy with the amount of money he's making. And
not only that, then you had the whole thing with his management in Valige. And Valige is kind of tight with some people in the UFC, and you look and you go, probably not a good situation overall.
No, big issue there. Big drama show.
Big drama show.
As Triple G would say, big drama show. But look, this fight here with Brandon Moreno should be a fun fight. Kai Kara France, a dog as well. This is another thing I want to talk about was Kai Kara France. When you have a win over someone like Cody Garbrandt and the way that you were able to get that win, where do you think his confidence is, John?
Oh, his confidence right now is way high, dude. Way high. It's way up there. You just take a look at his last 3 fights. The Askarov fight, man. People said it did go to a decision. He dominated that fight for the most part. No one's done that with Askarov, and so knockout of Cody Garbrandt. He had the Rogerio Bontrain fight before that. He got a knockout in that when everyone was getting high on Bontorin or something like that. But he's right now, he's on a roll and he's feeling it, and he's showing it in his fights because that fight against Askarov, I was so impressed with the way he fought that. Incredible. And that's coming off of the Cody Garbrandt win, which I looked at and said, I thought Cody going down to 125 was not a good idea. I thought he was going to, you lose weight like that, you're more susceptible with the weight loss and the lack of hydration. You're more susceptible to getting hurt by a shot. He did. And I'm trying to take nothing away from what Kai Kara France did, but we've seen it in the past, and we'll see it again.
Yeah, you're just speaking about facts about how just when you deplete your body that much, your chin doesn't really come with you.
No, it does not.
And so that's the problem. And he had some issues at 135, and with his chin a little bit, and getting hit with by guys that have power. TJ has power, and so it's just a matter of when going down and depleting your body. He should have stayed at 135. He's the faster fighter at 135. That's Cody Garbrandt. So seeing him go hopefully back up to 135. All right, let's talk about our main event, Julianna Pena versus Amanda Nunes. This show is brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie.ag brings you some of the best gambling odds across the world. And Big John, we've got a pay-per-view coming up this weekend. Julianna Pena versus Amanda Nunes. Brandon Moreno versus Kai Kara France. Derek Lewis and Pavlovich. And, of course, one of the fights on this card that we are most excited about is Magomed Ankalaev versus Anthony Smith. Should be a great fight. And there's other fights on this card that are fantastic fights. Let's be honest, John. You and I usually produce some of the best chances and opportunities for our listeners to make some money at MyBookie.ag. With your first initial deposit, they'll give you a little extra spending cash. And then on top of that, What they have started doing is you've only got to bet your winnings one time and then you can pull your money out. That seems to be a problem with a lot of online gambling sites where you have to continue to keep betting your money for multiple times. At mybookie.ag, you only have to bet your money one time, your winnings one time, and then you can pull your money out right after that. That's unbelievable. Go ahead and use that promo code Weighing In. There's a little QR code that Podcast Dave, actually Gian this week, is going to put up for you guys. Okay, and it's right there. Click that QR code. Use our promo code Weighing In, and hopefully we can make you guys some money for this week. I'm looking at some great odds. I'm sure you guys will too at mybookie.ag. Use that promo code Weighing In. I haven't watched any of The Ultimate Fighter, John, but I did see a clip of someone was posting, and damn, Julianna be talking hella shit.
Well, that's funny because in the beginning she wasn't. They were all upset that she wasn't. And she goes, why do I want to kick a dog when it's down? That was the one, thing she said. And I was like, ooh, okay.
Well, John, it's not so much she's talking. Let me rephrase that. She's not talking shit, but she's got some great comebacks. Amanda goes, yeah, you know what? I'm going to beat you. She's like, and she just keeps telling her, that's what you said the first time. I'm going to knock you out. That's what you said the first time. I'm going to show that you shouldn't belong in the cage with me. That's what you said the first time. She just keeps saying, yeah, where was that? Where were you at the first time? Why didn't you show up the first time? I'm going to show up this time. That's what you said last time. Like, she just keeps going back to this whole, you're telling me all the things that you said you were going to do to me.
Psychologically, that's a very smart tactic because I just keep bringing you back to, you can say what you want. Let's go back. What happened? What happened? What happened? Because you're bringing them back into what wasn't a great performance for Amanda. And now I'm not saying, that a lot was because of Julianna. That's what happened. And I, back, in that first fight, I said, I think that Julianna is a bad matchup stylistically for Amanda. I know Amanda's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I think Julianna Pena is a much more stifling fighter on the ground than Amanda. I think Julianna Pena does not gas. She does not get tired, especially in grappling situations where I know that Amanda does. Amanda needs to be in that stand-up, controlling the pace and location of the fight. She does that, she'll be fine. When someone presses her and makes her work past that comfort zone, we've seen it too many times in the past, Amanda has a hard time. And, she had a great run. I'm not taking anything away from what she did. She's been fantastic for a long time. But sometimes, you just get to that point. And I know that Amanda is the favorite in this fight again. And I look at it and I go, I still think Julianna's got a very good shot at beating her again.
I would have to agree with you. I definitely agree that Julianna's got a good chance of beating her. I think she needs to take a different route than what she did the first time.
So do I.
Because I think Amanda's going to come in.
You cannot go back to that same thing.
She's going to be very aggressive. I think Amanda's going to be a little bit more patient on the feet. She's not going to try to get her out of there. She's going to come in a lot better shape. Even when that short clip that I saw of them on The Ultimate Fighter, she looked already slimmer. So you can tell she's putting the work in already. And that was filmed 6 to 8 weeks ago.
Yep.
So I'm sure she looked slim then. I'm sure she's going to just keep, pick the ball up running and just keep going. And so she is somebody that I don't want to count her out. I'm not going to even say that. Amanda Nunes.
You can't do that.
Yeah, she's got the power. She's got the ability to stuff takedowns. She's got heavy hips. And when she gets on top, she's not the most active ground and pound fighter, but she knows how to place her weight because she is a black belt. She knows how to avoid submissions. Julianna Pena fought her the way that people like Jermaine Duranomy should have fought her. Stood right with her, exchanged blows, and just made her tired and hoped for the best. Because to me, Jermaine was the better striker.
Well, she was, but that's why.
Allowed.
But Julianna took Jermaine down continuously in that fight because of it. That was a smart fight by Amanda.
Yeah, I agree.
Did I say Julianna?
I agree. But
did I say Amanda? I'm sorry.
No, you said Amanda. But so. Look, this should be a fun fight. I just think that Julianna Pena's got to fight her a little bit smarter this time. And I think she's going to still stand up. If she can get her down, make her a little bit tired, make her arms wear down a little bit, then get back to the feet, land some big shots, make her get in those big exchanges, and then work for a takedown again, start to frustrate her. But I think by the middle of the second round, Amanda Nunes will be a different fighter. But I'm not counting her out. I think that because I believe in the first fight, Amanda dropped Julianna one time. I'm trying to recall.
No, I think she put her down.
I think she did put her down. I think
Yeah.
she dropped her one time.
Yeah. But
Julianna was able to get back up and just walked her back forward.
That jab that Julianna has, she needs to go back to using it because it gave Amanda problems. You know, it proved Julianna's a little bit faster than Amanda. She got that jab on point and was affecting Amanda with it because she's a little bit quicker. She needs to go back to that, but go back to pressing her into the cage. Use your grappling. Make her arms get heavy. Make her start to breathe. And as soon as she starts to get tired, as soon as that thought enters her mind, you got her. Because now it is going back to the first fight. But you've got to put her there because she does have the power to stop this fight with one shot. A lot of female fighters don't have the power that Amanda Nunes has. Amanda Nunes has one-shot power.
That's what makes people like Rose Namajunas so special. Yep. She's got power in her hands.
At that size, too.
So at that size. Yeah, that's very that's crazy. Let me ask you this, though, John. Do they run it back if Amanda wins a split decision? Do they do a third fight right away?
I don't think they will. I know. I don't think they will.
Fucked up. That's fucked up. I guess if it's a controversial split decision,
if it's a close fight, then I could see it. But if Amanda wins, and we'll say Amanda knocks Julianna out or anything like that, she's not getting a second shot. I just don't see it. But it's a great matchup. Can't wait to watch it again.
All right, before we get into the news, I want to ask Gian something. What the hell are you doing over there that keeps making like a scratching noise? I can hear it in my headphones.
I think it's my chair.
It's your chair?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you need to either oil it or get a new fucking chair. You're driving me nuts over there, buddy.
Quit moving.
Quit moving.
I'll stay still.
Jeez. Fucking guy. I'm like, what is that damn noise? Well, at least I figured it out, guys, because if you guys were listening and all you heard was like, then you know what it is. Gion's lack of professionalism. All right, let's talk about this Dana White's Contender Series. We're not going to talk about the fights. We're going to talk about one idiot that missed weight by 10 pounds.
And then flexed.
What really drove me crazy, John, he misses the fucking weight by 10 pounds. He gets off the scale. Then he gets back on and flexes.
I think that's because someone there told him, man, we need a picture, and he goes back on. First off, why are you even showing up to weigh 10 pounds more? Why? I look at it like I've seen guys miss weight by more than this. What's that guy? The really good kickboxer. He missed by 11 pounds. Oh my God, yeah, that was
Robin
Van. Oh my
Van
God, Roosmalen. Robin Van Roosmalen. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, really good kickboxer, but he had a little bit of an excuse. He's diabetic.
Yeah.
So something happened. I don't know what his body, but that's got to be hard, man. It's got to be hard.
Yep. But hell, one time, the most I've ever seen anyone miss weight by 23 pounds. 23 pounds is great. That's the best. It's like,
John,
I'm coming in fat, baby.
John, I fought Kid Yamamoto in Hawaii, and I got the call in 2 weeks' notice. I was 169. I lost 28 pounds in 24 hours.
Yeah.
28 pounds in 24 hours. I felt horrible. And the worst part about that whole thing is,
just so you know,
the worst part about that thing, we were at Media Day, which is like Wednesday or Thursday. I think it was Wednesday. And that little shit was running around, rest in peace, kid. But he was running around eating food. Fucking, he had grapes in his hand. He was eating sandwiches. And I'm like, this son of a bitch. He knows what he's doing. I was so mad. I was all sucked in already. I was like, Jordan's trying to lose weight by then. I was so pissed.
You used to do that a lot too. Was a guy you fought, Eve Edwards. Oh. He used to do that. He would go out on the scale, have with a burger, and bite the burger, and he would be eating cookies or things like that in front of his opponent. You go, psychologically, it sucks.
No, this guy was eating fucking 2-3 days before. I'm like, what? He was like eating a lot though, and I'm like, most people are like, oh, let me get some chicken and salad or some chicken and rice, something small, nothing. He never stopped eating during the 2-hour-long media day for that show. I was pissed, man. Son of a bitch, I'll make you pay. All right, well, let's talk. What about that guy though? You come in 10 pounds overweight. I would have thought, like, if you're 10 pounds overweight, I would have called and said, I got some sort of stomach sickness. I'm throwing up. I got the runs, whatever it is. I'm not going to be able to do this. I can't even come weigh in. I don't even know. I don't know what I would say.
I don't know, but at least
I would not have showed up to that
weigh-in. At least if you gave them that kind of excuse, like, I'm sick, I can't do it. At least they're going to say, all right, and they'll bring you back. You just missed weight by 10 pounds. Guess what? I'm not bringing you back. Why am I going to bring you back? You're wasting my money. You're wasting my time. It's like just not an intelligent move.
Man, I don't know. I would have went straight to the doctor and got an IV and be like, yeah, something's wrong with me. How do you get hydrated? I don't know. I would have done something. Dana White's going, what's that guy's name? Okay, remember, and put it in the database right there in the head. Put it in the database.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to see you in the UFC, probably ever. All right, next thing. Leon Edwards, Nate Diaz deserves better UFC send-off than fucked up Khamzat Chimaev booking. I agree with you, but Leon, buddy, they're going to do the same shit to you when it's your time to go.
That's right.
So this is a business venture. It is not anything else but that. It's not personal. It's definitely not personal. Nope. This is what they do. People, they spend a lot of money building you guys up, and they spend a lot of money tearing you guys down. Okay, because if you're going to be leaving or you're going to be ending towards the end of your career, they're not sending you off on a good note. Some guys get that because they still have fights in their contract when they retire, so they know you can't go anywhere. But when you fight out your contract, they don't give a shit,
and they are looking to get you beat.
They are looking to get you beat. So go ahead and read that, John, because my reading and my eyes are horrible.
If I had to put money on it, I'd probably go Khamzat, but I'd love Nate to get it done, Edwards told MMA Junkie and other reporters during a recent media scrum in London. He's done so much for the company, and I wish they gave him a veteran, a nice fight to bow out to. To give an up-and-coming guy that's had 4 or 5 fights in the UFC and a wrestler guy as well, I think they fucked up. They should have gave him a better fight, but I would love Nate to get it done. But as I said, if I'm a betting man, I'll probably go with Khamzat. Well, everything he said is true, but again, this is one of those ones you look and you go, oh, it's fucked up. It's business, and you got to look at it as a business. You run your career as a business. They run their promotion as a business. It has nothing to do with feelings, and it has to do with what is best for my business. And I was told something by someone long ago that, was part of that business. And that was, hey, friendship is friendship and business is business, but friendship never beats business. And that's the way it's run there. And that is just the way it is. But, that line sounds really nasty, and it is when you look at things a different way, but they're a business. And as much as Nate has done in helping the UFC grow and all that stuff, he's not Chuck Liddell, who is a personal friend of someone and going out without supposedly being able to fight again. Now, Chuck ended up fighting again later on down the road when, he had the fight with Tito, but he wasn't supposed to, and a lot of things happened there. He was supposed to be a brand ambassador for the UFC. The UFC sold, and they cut, that whole brand ambassador thing. So there was a reason why he was able to fight again. But, you look and you go, I agree with you. I agree with you completely, Leon. I would love to see them give a fight to Nate that would be a competitive fight, but one that, stylistically matched up where, it was, one that you looked at and you said he'd have a better chance of doing well in. But this is the fight game, and this is the way promoters do it. They're either paying you to win or they're paying you to make their new rising star get a win that puts something, another pelt up on the wall. And that's what they're trying to do right now with Nate.
Yeah. I would have thought, like, Kamzat's already kind of made a name for himself. I would have thought they would have given him maybe somebody else that was up and coming that they can try to build on. You know, Kamzat's already in that he's already on his way.
Yeah, people love him.
People like him. He's won fight. He had a great fight against Gilbert Burns. It was a back and forth battle. He got dropped in that fight. It showed a lot that he can dig deep. He's already built himself up. Beating Nate Diaz, I don't think anyone's gonna be like, okay, well, we expected that. Like, no big deal, whatever. And the other thing as well, but Nate Diaz is undersized for 170. He's tall, but he's not strong, you guys. He is physically not a strong guy. Look at Roy McDonald is not a strong guy either, and look how he just flung Nate around like no one's business. He just body slammed him, lifted him, slammed him.
Body slammed him. He bellied it back, suplexed him 3 times in a row. I was like, because I did that fight, I was like, holy shit.
And so that's my point is that what do you think Kamzat's going to do to him? You know, you would have thought they would have picked maybe can you pull up the 170-pound rankings? I'm kind of surprised they didn't give him like a Sean Brady. Maybe like a Bilal Muhammad or like somebody that they're trying to build up. Who we look at these things? Him and Vicente Luque would have been a fucking great fight.
Would have been a great fight.
Because Nate can't take Vicente down. I know Bilal was able to, but Nate's not a good.
Vicente's got clean striking, and they would stand there and bang. That would be great. I would like to see Stephen Thompson.
Yeah.
And Nate. That would be fun too.
Yeah, because Nate doesn't handle kicks very well.
Another guy that stands up.
Yeah. I would have taken the Vicente Luque fight, though, over it all, though, just to be honest.
Yeah.
Because you already got Colby, you got Leon in there, you got Kamzat, you got Gilbert. Those 4 are set. Those are the best guys in the division. Now, I know Bilal's in there. I know Vicente's in there. But Bilal and Vicente just changed spots recently. Stephen Thompson, he's 37, 38 years old. That fight, I would have liked to have seen the fight. But I don't know if it would have been an action-packed fight.
Can you imagine this? Because it can happen. Imagine if Nate, while being all of a sudden, boop, here comes the submission, and all of a sudden he catches Kamzat. Puts him out. Hoo-hoo! Boy, would that be the fireworks. Would that not be the news of the year?
Well, you got to remember.
Would that not be something that would be awesome?
If Kamzat puts his head in the wrong place. I've grappled Nate in competitions, and I've fought Nate. And one of the biggest things, when he gets his hand around your neck, I don't know if it's because it's long and skinny or whatever it is, but it gets on quick, and there's a threat there, a real serious threat, and it's real quick. And I don't know how fast and tight it gets on. He gets away from it now. He's more of a striker now. He doesn't seem like he grapples a whole lot as much anymore. But his guillotine.
Well, he's got to be looking towards just working his jiu-jitsu in a camp going against Chimaev. He's got to figure the guy's going to end up trying to take me down. So he's going to take me down. So I've got to be able to, work off of my back.
You think so?
Possibilities there.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to try to take him down. I think he's going to try to bully him around on the feet. Kicks, boxing, and then...
Well, that's not a smart idea. That's not a smart idea. People do not give Nate Diaz the credit he deserves for his stand-up, because his stand-up is awkward. He throws a lot of volume and stuff, but he'll snap one out. Ask Leon Edwards, that has got power on it. But you're taking a chance being on the feet with him, because he is a dog, and he will continue to fight. He'll continue to get you, knock him down. He's going to get back up. He's going to come after you.
Will he get back up, John?
An easy out. Yes, he will.
I don't know if he's gonna in this fight.
I've heard so many people talk about, he could do this, he could just tap, he could just. No, he can't.
No.
Okay.
I heard Morning Combat ask the same question that I asked. Because there's penalties to it. I want to make sure we clarified that.
Big time penalties.
Brian Campbell said the same thing, because Brian Campbell and Luke Thomas on Morning Combat, they said, why don't he just walk in and a big fuck you, walk in, get taken down, get tapped, and then walk out? Not a good
No.
situation, man.
Can't do it.
You can be
First off,
sued for that. That's one thing, because it says in your contract that you will fight.
You sign a contract that you will fight and fight to the best of your ability. If that happens, the commission is going to hold his purse. The commission is going to suspend him. They're going to fine him. It doesn't work that way. It's like, when people bring that stuff up, you go, stop. Okay. Yes, I've seen boxers go in, stand there, get introduced, then walk out of the ring. I've seen that happen. I've seen fighters go in and then tap the mat, okay, in smaller promotions and stuff. All right. I've seen guys that, they're winning the fight and just tap because they don't want, they're doing it for specific reasons. And yes, they might not in that scenario get suspended by the commission because the loss is punishment enough, but they're doing something for a specific reason. But it's never going to be easy, and the ability for them to do something to you is always there. And trust me, at Nate's level, it's going to be done.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for him to head off to fight Jake Paul if your license is suspended.
You can't.
And so that option is completely, I think, out the door. The other thing is, I don't think that Nate Diaz would ever do something like that.
I don't think so either. It's not in him.
It's
not who he is.
He would lose a lot of fans, I think. Don't get me wrong. I think everyone would be like, "Oh, that's so cool, the big fuck you." Yeah, but you're going to lose a lot of fans that love watching you fight.
That's right.
And so that would be a huge issue. I don't think that's in him. I just look at the size of Khamzat Chimaev versus the size of George Masvidal. Look at the success that Masvidal was having against Nate compared to Khamzat. Khamzat is going to be, he's bigger than George or Jorge, whatever, but Masvidal. He's bigger than Masvidal. And he may not possess the same tightness and technique in the boxing and the kickboxing, but he's bigger. He possesses probably the same power and maybe the same amount of speed, but
look, he's good.
He's got the better wrestling.
He's good on his feet, and he definitely's got the better wrestling.
And so,
he does not have the better submission game.
In the history of MMA, in terms of the Nick and Nate Diaz brothers, they've always suffered against wrestlers. You get to the top position, keep your head out of the right way, don't let them get wrist control for the triangles. Yeah, they've suffered against wrestlers. Every wrestler's seemed to find a way to beat them, majority of them. So, I don't know. I like Nate. Despite fighting him, all that shit, I'm a big fucking fan of Nate Diaz. And so I love him and his brother. I love watching them fight. I'll always tune in to watch them fight. I don't give a fuck if it's boxing or bare knuckle boxing reached out and said, I'd love to have him if he decides he wants to come our way. And if he fights anywhere else, and I really think it's a good ploy. I think every fighter should, if every fighter fought out their contract and checked and see what they can make somewhere else, the UFC would stop being the way that they are. I think a little bit. They would stop trying to get you beat on your way out, because some of those fighters would be like, oh, you try to get me beat. That's even more of a fuck you. I'm going somewhere else. Then they have to dial it back a little bit in terms of they'd want to pick and choose who they did that to. They just do it to everyone now, and they forget that, okay, these fighters can now leave and go somewhere else. I'll give you an example. If Chimaev said, hey, you know what, I'm on a 6-fight, I've signed a 6-fight deal. If he fought it all the way out, he could make probably double the money somewhere else. Huh? Are you in it for the money, or are you in it for the fame and the glory? That's what you want to know. What are you in it for? As you get, I don't know. It's hard for me to tell.
Everyone's got their own thing.
Everyone's different in why they do it. But yeah, I think if every fighter did that, the UFC would start doing certain things a little bit differently. Not towards all fighters, but the ones that they really wanted to keep to try to build around. All right, let's move on. The next topic is Scott Coker reveals Fedor Emelianenko hoping to face Ryan Bader in retirement fight. We'll definitely consider it.
Yeah, that look. I love it. Just say it. Dumb idea.
First off, I don't think that Showtime and Viacom and CBS, and I don't think they're going to go for that. And everyone loves Fedor, but the circumstances with Russia right now and Ukraine, it ain't over.
No.
like you see organizations like not putting their flags up, putting restrictions on flags. You see organizations not mentioning where they're from.
Not mentioning where they're from. Yep.
Like this shit ain't done.
No.
I mean, the return of Fedor, and then I have no desire to see that fight again anyways. You know, if you want to, honestly, if you want to put someone like Melvin Manoff against Fedor, I'd probably tune in. They're both in their 40s. Both are strikers. You know, Fedor's got good wrestling. If he wanted to use it, he could. But I think he would stand. It's kind of whoever's chin gets hit first would go down.
Yep.
That's kind of where I'm at with that fight, man. Like,
well, that's kind of what you have if it fights Bader again. You know, Bader's, you know, several years older now since they had their fight. His chin's been touched a couple times, and he's been put out. And you look at he's
still the champ though at heavyweight, John.
I'm not saying he's not, but if Fedor touches his chin before Bader touches Fedor's chin, Bader's going to go out.
You think so?
I'm not
I
saying
mean, I saw if you lands a shot like you did against Tim Johnson, Jesus.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. That's my point. You know,
I mean, even though Fedor is older, he's still got speed.
He's got fast hands.
He's still fast with his hands. He's got power. Those two things, I'm surprised. At 44? Yeah. 42? How old is Fedor there, buddy? Can you look it up there, Gian? 43? But, you know, and here's the thing. Brian Bader doesn't have to stand. Brian Bader can take him down at will.
No, and he should.
Yeah.
He should.
What is he? See his age there, buddy.
45.
45.
Yeah. I thought he was 44 his last fight against Tim Johnson. Yeah, 45 years old. This Russia-Ukraine thing, it ain't going to end until it doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. They're still chipping away. I know that Yaroslav Amosov and stuff is coming back. He's back in the training room. He's in Germany right now training with a good friend of mine, Cody Steele. And
that's based upon the
soldiers.
The soldiers and the people of Ukraine have told Yaroslav Amosov, Usyk, hey, you give us pride, you give us strength by you fighting and being who you are. That's what we want to see. And they basically sent them both back and said, go back to training. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some proud people, man.
Boy, they are.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I have no desire. Honest, I'm just being honest. I don't see this fight ever coming to fruition. I don't see Fedor ever fighting ever again. I don't see anyone putting that. The other thing, John, I said this on, I think, the other day. Michael Chandler cost Bellator a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
When he left, look who we signed after that. Usman, Tafik. In that lightweight division, we supplemented him with younger, better talent. Let me don't get ahead of myself. Maybe not better talent.
You know you're going to get caught on that one.
Whatever, but equal. It's equal. I would say like young talent that isn't quite into their prime yet.
Definitely has more coming up. Yeah.
How old is Usman Nurmagomedov? He's 24 years old.
24.
15-0. Fucking
Scary.
Stud. Tofik Mosaev. Fucking stud. What is he? 26? I don't even know if he's that old.
No, I think he's.
But you've got Alexander Shabli's 29. These guys are fucking animals. Just stone cold killers. I would trade one good fighter for three outstanding young talented fighters. That the sky's the limit. Hell yeah! I just created a whole division, and they signed two other good lightweight fighters to hit that division as well.
Yeah.
All day long. Nothing against the fight. If you're in this, if you're a Bellator, you need to start looking at what you're paying for. These fighters that have been around for a long time. Fedor Emelianenko is a lot of damn money, John. A lot of damn money. Everyone knows that. Once that contract is gone, that frees up to sign a lot of other people.
And that's the whole point. He's got the one fight left on the contract, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't see it happening before this war between Russia and Ukraine could go on for another year or two. He'll be 47. I have no desire to watch him fight at 47.
Okay,
I barely have a desire now to watch him fight.
But let me ask you this. You're saying this about Fedor. in that he's from Russia. We just watched Usman Nurmagomedov. Dagestan is not Russia, but it's Russia.
I get what you're saying.
Tofik Musayev, same thing. You watch Alexander Shabli, he's from Russia. You watch, guys all the time. They're from Russia.
I just don't see it happening, man.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe. But here's the other thing. If he's got one fight left, why are we having him fight Ryan Bader?
Well, that's the part that you look and you go, where do you go with it? It's kind of tough.
If he beats
you want him
Ryan
to fight
Bader,
on longer? What's that?
If he was out of nowhere beat Ryan Bader, I don't think he will.
Okay.
But if he was to beat Ryan Bader, do you do what? You let him walk off with your title? Okay. Or or in Bellator fashion, sign him to another 3-fight deal?
Well,
I am a huge fan of Fedor Emelianenko.
So am I. I love the guy.
We all know that. Everyone knows the history that he brings to the show, to the fights. Just if you go back and watch his old fights, man.
It's not even only the history. It's the class. Look, he is a classy individual.
Absolutely.
He is such a good person. He's so good for the sport. I miss him in the fact that, it's nice seeing him at times, with his guys and his team, and he's done a great job with his team and stuff. But, at this point, it's tough for you to say that it makes sense for you to give him a title fight. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but I always want to see him doing well. I always want to see him being part of the sport. He's just a good man, and he's one of the kindest guys. If you've ever met him, he's super quiet. Doesn't talk until he knows you, and then once he knows you, he's like Josh Thompson. He is the punk.
He's just funny, man. He speaks English, but he doesn't really speak it a whole lot. You say things, and he just starts laughing because he understood, but he wants to respond in Russian, and it's just funny. I get it. I don't know. I understand what you're talking about, but I think a lot of people understand that the Dagestan fighters don't recognize the Russia. They don't.
Yeah.
Those fighters don't. They want to be separated from them.
Yes.
Tofik, he's from a different. He's not from Russia.
Azerbaijan.
He's from Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
So the certain fighters are. I don't think Alexander Shabli's from Russia either. He's from another little area.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's he might be. I have to look it up, but I think he's from a different area as well. But regardless, I get what you're saying. There are Russian fighters that have fought. We just had Tokov fight.
Yep.
He's from Russia.
Yep.
So, but yeah. All right, let's talk about Sean O'Malley. Says Aljamain Sterling owes me like 50% of his pay-per-view money for UFC 280.
I don't think he owes you 50%.
I would say 60%.
No,
Probably about 60%.
Yeah.
John, this dude ain't lying.
No, he's lying, but what he's
saying
is...
No.
Stop.
Sean is the draw.
Does Aljamain owe him anything? No. But does Sean O'Malley bring
Aljo owes
more
us the
eyeballs?
truth about his acting skills. That's what Aljo owes us. The truth about his acting skills. That's it.
Sean O'Malley definitely, he's someone that eyeballs are part of what he brings. Here, let's go. I think this is going to be the first time Aljo gets pay-per-view points. I doubt that it's the first time, since he just had a fight with a guy named Peter Yan where he was the champion. So he got pay-per-view points there because he's defending his belt, which is absolutely fucked. O'Malley said on his YouTube channel, he owes me like 50% of those. The UFC basically said they would, when they announced my fight, they've seen the interaction and engagement of social and everything. The thing just went boom, gesture straight up. My fight is the most hype fight on that card. I'm not taking anything away from Charles versus Islam. That's going to be a sick fight. But me versus Peter, it's just such an interesting fight. Okay.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
Sterling doesn't owe you a damn thing.
No, you're right. You're right about that. You're absolutely right about that. No. That card's stacked.
Oh, man.
It's gonna be a great card.
Oh, man.
That Saudi money is paying.
This is what I love about it. You can sit there and say what you want about, the whole UAE and Abu Dhabi. because of their little deal with the UFC, boy, they put some cards together when they're going there, baby, which only helps us. So,
yeah, I look at it. He's not lying, John. He's
go ahead.
not lying.
Explain to me. Go ahead.
He's not lying. He's
not
the
lying.
I
the
wouldn't
draw.
say he's.
Hold on.
He's
Are
not
you
more,
saying that he's a bigger draw?
No, not than Charles. Not than Charles and
Charles
Islam
versus Islam.
No, only because of where they're at.
Okay.
No, only because of where they're at. Islam's the biggest draw in that thing because of where they're at.
Yeah.
In terms of if they were to seed an arena there, I mean 25, maybe 30,000 probably. I think he could do Islam himself. And they'll have other guys on there that are from the area. That will definitely help sell tickets. But yeah, I think he ain't lying. And here's the thing: the reason why I say, because this is a big fight. Had Sean O'Malley, excuse me, had Sean O'Malley fought somebody else, then I would have said, nah, probably not. But since he didn't, he's fighting Peter Yan. It's going to be just an insane fight. Fight. So that's going to be he might have bitten off more he can chew, but Aljo's fighting TJ Dillashaw, I believe, on that card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. So that's gonna be a stacked card. I know some other big fights on there. I can't remember. Someone hit me up, so there was another big fight on it. Can you click on that card? Does it have the whole card up there yet?
No, it's just these for now.
Those aren't all on that card.
Those aren't. No, click on the top one. If you click on it, doesn't it take you to the rest of the card? Because I don't think Gamrot and them are on that card.
No.
Well, let me click it.
Fight card 280.
Well, this is what you actually need to work on, buddy, because Dave does this better than
It's directly from the website.
My
Dave
God.
Won't let me click it.
Yeah,
You won't let me click it.
Look up UFC schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Look it up. Go ahead. UFC schedule. Type in UFC schedule. Jesus, come on.
this is just horrible.
There you go. Your internet is so slow, dude.
Okay, end of this one. Let's go on to the next.
Yeah, there it is.
Jesus,
now click, scroll that little thing. Scroll that thing on the top all the way until you see what's that UFC. When is it? Is it not that one? What day is it? 280. UFC 280. There's your card.
No,
It still doesn't show the rest.
That is the card, huh? Bilal and Sean Brady.
Wow. What a
Neil
card.
Dariush and Gamrot. And then you've got TJ and Aljo. And then you've got, where's the rest of the card?
Sean.
It's not.
It's not on there?
Why would they not have those on there?
Does it say see more at the bottom?
Mm-mm. Not at
Interesting. That's interesting. All right. Well, maybe they got to upgrade that, update it, maybe because they dropped this week. They didn't update it. All right, boys. What else we got for us there?
We got a fan question.
All right, let's go ahead and answer this fan question. We got one fan question, which let me remind you guys who this fan is. The fan question is from Podcast Dave because he's actually trying to learn the sport these days now that he's training Train Alta down there in Austin, Texas. So he's asking these type of questions. Go ahead, John.
Let's see. Oh, dude, I really wanted to ask you if you could ask John a question on air or in private, honestly. I was wondering why when Jacare got his forearm snapped, he did not get his forearm snapped. It was his humerus. It was above the elbow. But why when he got his arm snapped and didn't submit, why was it ruled a submission? But Ortega gets his shoulder popped out and then verbally submits and it isn't ruled a submission. Like, what's the rule for that? All right. I've heard so much crap about Brian Ortega's shoulder and, it was a submission. Josh, you're a black belt, right?
Yeah.
What submission was on?
There wasn't one.
Oh.
He was attacking one, but it wasn't on.
He was attacking what?
It looked like an arm bar, but it was the opposite arm.
Okay. So when you look at this, what happened with Jacare is, and Jacob Montalvo was the referee of that. It was against Nunes, and Nunes puts an arm bar on him, and it is tight, and Jacare goes to the point where the arm snaps. It breaks. Right away, Jacob Montalvo stops the fight, and that is because we tell fighters in the back, look, if you get put in a submission, I will let you work your way. You're a professional. This is different than amateurs. If I saw that and I saw that it was tight and he wasn't doing the right thing to defend, I'm going to just stop the fight and say, you need to learn more. Doesn't matter what your record is as an amateur. But as a pro, this is a time that we will allow you to go as far as Jacare went, to the point where we see damage. If I see damage, I'm telling you now, I'm going to stop the fight. You have lost. You have been submitted. Okay, same as if you get put in a rear naked choke. You get put in the rear naked choke, I'm going to let you fight your way out of it. I'm not going to sit there and stop it when I go, oh, that's tight. I'm going to let you either tap out or go to sleep. And as soon as you go to sleep, I'm going to stop the fight. You have lost. That is called a technical submission. So when Jacare went to the point of allowing his arm to break, it is a technical submission. You lose by that call. Brian Ortega is a self-inflicted injury. It was Brian Ortega that created the situation that his shoulder popped. I've had guys have shoulders pop just by throwing a punch out. They throw the punch out, their shoulder dislocates, and now they're kind of, walking backwards with their arm hanging down. Self-induced. They created it. Same as Chris Weidman kicks Uriah Hall. When he kicks at Uriah Hall, did we say that Uriah Hall knocked, Chris Weidman out? Did we say it's a submission? No. He kicks, he breaks his leg. It's a self-induced injury. It's a TKO is the call on it based upon a self-inflicted injury. This is a self-inflicted injury by Brian Ortega. It is not a submission. There was no submission hold that was being put on that affected the body part that caused the end of the fight. It is a TKO victory for Yair Rodriguez. It is not a submission.
Very well put, John. I'm glad you know the rules. No, yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying.
Every now and then.
I just could see them making it a submission only based on the fact that it wasn't a submission attempt, it just wasn't on the right shoulder. And we've seen this before where refs or announcers call a submission something that it wasn't, and then it goes in the rule book or goes in the records as it being like, oh, it was a guillotine. No, it wasn't. It was a different type of choke.
No, it wasn't. It was a front choke, but yeah. And it happens. This is what a record keeper is for the true finish of the fight is important. It was important for me. I would go and, if I knew I was doing a show, I would go and look at everyone and what they were getting. If they were into, submissions, what were they catching people with? It helps me if I know what they're good at. Okay. If I've never seen that person fight, because, you're going to see guys all over the world and you don't know, you can go to the record keeper and look and say, oh, this guy's really good with a guillotine. Oh, this guy's really good. He's got a good darce. Oh, this guy goes and he does buggy chokes, whatever you want to say. It's good to know what the person likes to go to, because that way, when all of a sudden you see him moving in that direction, oh, he's going for this. That helps. And so it's always bad for the sport when you put something in there that's not true, because now you're giving bad information out. And if you put that Brian Ortega got submitted by Yair Rodriguez, you'd be putting bad information out. He did not get submitted by him. He injured himself by pulling on his arm to pull it out. It popped his shoulder. I'm not saying Yair didn't have some effect with that. He's holding on, but it's Brian that's creating the pressure to make that happen. It's a self-induced injury.
What do you call the submission that Usman got on Chris Gonzalez?
Front naked choke.
They called it the guillotine.
I know.
So I wanted to throw that out there. I know that frustrates you.
Yep. What do you call it?
I really just call it a front choke.
Anytime you see a guy do the same, motion over, there's different hand variations when it comes to guillotine, all kinds of different things, and it's still a guillotine. That one is not.
I just call it a front choke. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's a front choke.
I don't care.
That's what it is.
Is there anything else there for us, Gian?
That's it.
That's going to wrap us up for this week's show. Make sure you guys tune in to the UFC pay-per-view this weekend. Julianna Pena versus Amanda Nunes. Some great fights on that card. Brandon Moreno and Kai Kara-France for the interim title. That should be a great fight as well. And there's tons of other good fights on that card that we talked about. If you guys are bored and don't want to listen to the UFC commentary, you guys can tune in to Fight Campaign as well with Shab and whatever guests he has on there, but check them out. Look, guys, we want to thank you guys so much for continuing to follow us, listen to us, and share our content. Hit that subscribe button, as Dave would like to say, smash that subscribe button. I want to thank you guys. And you guys have been hitting us up. I want to let you guys know. We did talk about the Khamzat fight, not just in this card, but we dropped another show, on our 5 rounds main event on our other clips channel, our shorts channel. All that talk and conversation is about all the top 5 fights that just got released in this last week by the UFC. They dropped a bunch of fights.
And we actually give a prediction on them.
Yeah, we actually do give a prediction on them. So,
well, excuse me. I give predictions. You go both ways.
Oh, I go both ways? Who told me that? Now you're just spreading misinformation.
No misinformation.
What are you trying to say? Are you talking about me sexually? What are you doing?
Sexually. I'm saying you've taken both sides of the road, man. Oh, this guy can win, this guy can win. When could it be? Well, it could be by knockout. It could be by submission. It could be by, my God.
John just throwing shade right now.
Total shade.
All right. Well, hey, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Follow us and go to WayneInPodcast.com. Pick up some of our merch available there. Sweaters, hoodies, long sleeves, short sleeves, all that. Hot coffee mugs available. And I want to thank you guys for continuing to support us. John, take us away, bud.
For everyone out there, we have no sweaters on our site, but it's okay. If you want one, we'll pick one out for you. And for my man Josh, be careful going to Texas, bud. Drive safe.
Thanks,
Keep
bud.
the family safe. For everyone out there, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you.